One thing about me, I will sit in the dark until my electricity free at 9. Woo! I just turned this on just so y'all know my lights ain't off. I got lights, I got electricity, but shit, we in a recession. In this economy, turn them goddamn lights off. Turn them off.
Bills have become so high, it's just increasing each time, each and every time. I'm checking out ones on electrical bills. How it is ridiculously high. Like, oh my god, you know we need electricity, but damn, like they cost a lot.
Is your electric bill way too high? Do you want to know a super easy way to cut your bill down without changing your life at all? Okay, I'll tell you. And I learned this from a patient roughly 15 years ago. I've been doing it ever since. I used to do it hardcore. Now I do it softcore, and I do it softcore at my boyfriend's house. Let me show you. It's just unplugging. My patient called it energy vampires. He told me that when you have appliances, small appliances, any appliances plugged in, even when not in use, it will leach electricity and you'll be charged for it. So when I say I went home and went hardcore, I mean I unplugged the microwave, the stove, the TV, the cable box, like everything, the washer, the dryer. It was stupid, unsustainable, inconvenient, and I didn't stick with that, obviously. What I did stick with was, I used to have a little thing mounted on the wall that had my blow dryer, my hair stuff in it, and I kept them plugged in all the time. I took those down and put them in a drawer. The small appliances on the kitchen counter, the coffee pot, the can opener, the toaster, all of those, when not in use, unplugged. Laptops, iPads, cell phones, when those are not actively being charged, they're unplugged. If a lamp is turned off, it's unplugged. My ex-husband used to have power tools plugged in all the time, and when I would pull up in the garage, I would see like a red light here, a green light there. I would unplug it. He got used to it. So hardcore made a huge difference. Softcore makes a difference. And if you don't believe me, Google phantom power is how I think you can find it online, or energy vampire. You can Google that too, I think. You're welcome.
Con Ed is tripping, y'all. Look at this. $243. I live in a junior 1-bedroom in Brooklyn, an apartment. This should be the price for a house. What is going on? They raised the rates last summer in August, and this is what that has resulted in. Thank you, Mayor Eric Adams, for not controlling any of this. This is absolute insanity.
Okay, tell me why my power bill was so high this month that I thought it was fraud. I legit woke up this morning and saw a charge come through for GPC, and I was like, oh, I didn't authorize this. And so I called Chase Fraud. I'm on the phone with them, and then I'm like, let me check and see if this is Georgia Power. And of course, I go online and I check it's Georgia Power. My bill was so high. I thought it was fraud. I thought somebody was stealing from me, but it turns out the girl who is stealing from me is me. It's the girl who likes to sleep really cozy at night. Anyway, have a good day.
Those ones who have to pay their electrical bill to their landlords, like it is, I feel like that's even more worse. Like if you're paying directly to the electrical company, it's a little bit lesser, but the one where it's like maybe you're renting a place and the place tell you like, yeah, you're going to pay to us, the property management company, you're going to be paying the electrical bill to us, we'll be the one to give you your bill and what you owe, and with water and everything. And it's like, oh my god, like all of a sudden, if you compare it to when you had to do it yourself and pay directly to the electrical company, it was less. But now it has become another part for them to actually choose a scam, to say, oh yeah, we're gonna scam out money out of these people. And to me, I feel like we're really like struggling financially. Like people are not doing really well, and then it's like a lot of these landlords, a lot of these companies, property and management companies, have really gotten to a point where they are only thinking about how to even do worse stuff to people, how to get people more. Like, oh, let's find a way to actually, go and get more money from these people. And yeah, like it's just weird and wild. Please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Let's get right into it.
We just got our electricity bill for our rental house. Tenants moved out, so nobody is living in this house, and it's a larger size house. Like it's closer to 3,000 square foot, I think. Like it's a good size house. Again, Not one person is living in this house, so we have to pay for the electricity bill this month. Okay, we turned down the heat to like, I don't know, 55, like something, we turned that shit down. Not one person has turned on a light, not one person has used any electricity. How much do you think our electricity bill was? Because if somebody would have asked me, I would have said, I don't know, $50. $50 is what I would guess. Maybe up to 100. Okay, so under $100 is what I would assume our electricity bill would be if nobody's using the fucking electricity. Guess how much our bill was? You're not gonna guess. $261.67. What are we paying for exactly? Like, I'm trying to see like the breakdown and shit. Like, what? We're not using the electric. Like, what are we paying for here? Like, just the services, just to have them on? Or $261? I thought it was our electricity bill for our house that we're currently living in. This is crazy.
What's your electric bill? And where do you live? I live in Southern California. My electric bill for a 2,900 square foot house, 2 AC units. The downstairs stays at 77 all the time, we don't touch it. Upstairs stays at 79 between the hours of 6 in the morning and 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening. 8:30, 9 o'clock, we drop it down to 75. 4:30 in the morning, it goes up to 76. 6 o'clock, it goes up to 79. Don't have a pool, don't have jacuzzi. There's nothing to drain additional electricity from. My electric bill with no outstanding balance just for the month of July. Want to guess? $950. I don't keep the TV on during the day. I don't turn lights on during the day. I keep the house pretty much closed so that it doesn't take that much energy to cool back down. And, you know, before people come in and go, well, it's because you turn everything up. We're literally told to keep our air at 78. So that's what we're told to do. Now, $950 is a bargain compared to what I paid in my previous home a couple of years ago. We had a 3,800 square foot home. Again, 2 AC units. My electric, and we had a pool and a jacuzzi. My electric bills at that house during the summer, $1,500. $950. Thank God I understand, and I know that, you know, the summer, the budget for the electricity is just outrageous and astronomical, and Southern California's Edison keeps raising its fucking rates because, you know, wildfires and infrastructure, and somehow it's always their infrastructure that causes the wildfires that we then have to pay the taxes to. But, you know, whatever. We won't talk about that. $950. What's your electric bill? Because if anyone tells me it's like $50, I'm gonna lose my mind. And I'm moving in with you. So just be forewarned, because do you know what I could do with $950? $950. Fuck me.
Anyone else's electric bill go up this month? Just me? No, I don't think so. $490. $490. How is anyone supposed to just survive with that? $490. It says it went up 116%. It says $191 is a delivery fee. What the frick is a delivery fee? 4 years ago, we were living our best lives. And now we're all just here on TikTok trying to make a living. And again, Kamala and Biden saying gas prices are going down, grocery prices are going down. Who are you and what world are you living in? Please leave in the comments what your electric bill is this month and let me know I'm not the only one, please. There are people that are way worse off than me. How are they doing it? How are they going to keep surviving? They can't. Something has got to give. Get to the polls. We can't do this much longer.
Y'all, have you checked your electric bills lately? Well, I have. And in the app, it said that I'm using most of my electricity heating my house. Well, guess what, y'all? Our only heat source in our home is a wood freaking stove. So what am I paying for every month? $400 electric bills for what? So here's the much awaited update. I just got my bill for this month and it was $200. The only reason it was lower this month, a little over $200, was because they took the $110 fee that they've been charging us for the last 4 months consecutively off, because we've reached the $440 limit that they can charge us for having paid our bill late. They also told me that I can't get that $440 back unless I pay 12 consecutive months of the electric bill on time, which they know that absolutely nobody can do right now, which means I'm already disqualified from getting my $440 back. So yeah, happy Monday, y'all. I've been taking all of your advice. I've been unplugging my shits, cutting lights off, doing all the things.
That beautiful sound, that's the sound of my air conditioner. And I got a big question for y'all, and I know y'all been wondering too, man. And somebody got to explain this to me before I Google it. I want one of y'all to tell me, why are we paying, in the Antelope Valley, bro, why are we paying 2 different people for one light bill? It's like my light bill is double. And I think I read a couple of explanations and stuff. It still didn't make no sense to me, man. So I need somebody to come on here and explain it to me. Why am I paying 2 different people? Because I ain't gonna even lie to y'all, bro. In the month of July, my light bill came, that mug is $1,000. How did I use $1,000 worth of electricity? It doesn't even seem possible, bro. I ain't never had a light bill over $200, $250 maybe, but $1,000? Come on, somebody explain this.
Con Ed is out of control. I just got my bill for 1 month. I live in a studio apartment. They're charging me $400, $380 for 1 month. 1 month of electricity. Wow.
I have to put my glasses on for this one. $1,400 for a monthly energy bill. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was this bad. I've only seen a handful of energy bills that high in my entire career. If it's getting that bad, I think we're further along than I thought we were. Man, if any of you out there are spending $1,400, even if it's only a month or 2 in summer for your energy, you have to take control of that now. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the energy bills that we're paying right now are the lowest they will ever be. They are increasing exponentially, especially if you're using a lot of power like that. There are options, there's local funding programs, there's energy efficiency upgrades, there's so much that you can do to drop the price that you're paying for it and buy less power from the utility company, but still use the same amount of power in your house. I know it sounds confusing, and sometimes it is. Feel free to reach out.
This is a story of how I ended up with a $709 electric bill, and no, that's not a joke. This is a real thing. I've been dealing with it for the last 3 months, and it is finally coming to a close, so I figured I would give you guys the entire story. I literally had to write down a timeline of events because it's been that insane. I moved into this apartment the middle of January, and my utilities all had to be transferred from my apartment complex's name into my name. So I didn't get my first electric bill until I had been living here for about 2.5 months. So I get the bill in the mail, and it's for $709. This is my first apartment I've ever rented, so I was like, okay, maybe I just really messed up and I'm using way more electric than I thought. Thank God for my big sister friend Taryn, because she was like, girl, that's not normal. I was like, no, it's fine. Abundance mindset, no big deal. I'll pay the bill and I'll be a lot more conscious going forward. And she was like, no, queen, that is not normal. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll inquire. So I was like, maybe I have electric heat and I just don't know. Maybe I don't have gas heat, although I was told I had gas heat. So I call up my gas company. I'm like, hey guys, can you confirm that I'm in fact a gas heating account? And they were like, yes, you are, queen. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool, because my electric bill is $709. And the guy on the phone was like, what in God's green earth? And I was like, I know. He said, that's not even how much my bill is. And he had a 4-bedroom house and he never turns his TV off. Lights are always on, whatever. I'm like, okay, this is getting a bit more suspicious. So I call up National Grid and I'm like, hey guys, why does it say I'm using this much electricity? And they were like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, that's not a good answer. Can you give me something more? And they were like, well, this doesn't seem like anything crazy to us, but we can send somebody out to check out your meter. And then you'll get something in the mail basically saying the results of the test. Guess who never got anything in the mail? Me. So at that point, I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do here? So I went and I talked to my neighbor. I literally had never met her before. I just knocked on her door and was like, hey girl, what is your electric bill? Now we're becoming besties, so it all worked out. But she was like, her bill was $160, I think, for 1 month. My $709 for 2.5 months of service nets out to around $283 a month for electric. So checking my notes, okay? So then at this point, my bill is due in about 2 weeks, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? I mean, I can afford to pay the $709, but I knew damn well as soon as I paid that $709, I was never gonna see any of that back if anything was incorrect. So I posted about this on my stories, and thank the Lord, one of you was like, call the Department of Public Utilities and ask for an investigation. So that's what I did. I called the Massachusetts Department of Public Utilities Commission, and I was like, hey, this is my situation. The guy was like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. He said that the amount that I was using would be the amount that a standard 4 to 5 bedroom house would use that has multiple people living there and are like, you know, not being really conscious of their electric use. And I had always been conscious of mine. So basically he started an investigation which forces National Grid to come out and look at my meter. The good thing was that that investigation put the bill on hold in the meantime, so I didn't have to worry about paying the bill while that was all happening. In the meantime, I reached out to my property manager and I was like, hey, just gonna let you know I did put in for an investigation because this is batshit crazy. And he was like, yeah, no, totally get it. This is actually insane. But in the meantime, we decided to try everything we could to find out what was going on. So we turned the breaker off in my apartment and we were like monitoring my meter, looking at it, trying to figure out everything. In the meantime, while this is happening, we found out that our apartment complexes have HVAC closets that are on our balconies. The thing about these HVAC closets is that, come to find out, they have baseboard heating, which apparently is powered by electric heat. If you know anything about electric heat, you know that electric heat is very expensive. Now, the thing here is that tenants do not have access to these HVAC closets that are on our balconies. So if mine was turned up so high, like a thermostat inside that HVAC closet, if it was turned up so high that my little HVAC closet was a sauna, why is that my fault? Why am I paying for that? You know? At this point, the guy from the DPC had called me back and told me that the investigation had yielded no results. They didn't find anything wrong with it, but he told me that the usage was so high, he would genuinely recommend lawyering up. And he gave me the contact information of a volunteer lawyer project and then another like lawyer thing in my area that helps people in these types of situations. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me, okay? I'm just trying to live here in peace, and I might have to lawyer up because I'm being charged for so much more than what I'm actually using. This is just getting out of hand. So while I'm on vacation, I get an email from National Grid. No communication whatsoever, just an email saying that my bill is now $475, which is an average of $103. This bill covered from when I moved in until now, which checks out. That makes sense. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? Come to find out, the property manager, after all of us have literally called National Grid an insane number of times, the property manager decided to call just one more time while I was away on vacation and got someone at National Grid who was like, I don't know why this has taken so long for someone at National Grid to help you figure this out. This is actually insane. He was like, it just looks like some of your tenants are paying for service that the apartment complex is supposed to be paying for. So had I gone and paid that $709 bill, I would have been paying for things that I shouldn't have been paying for. I haven't called National Grid to ask, like, what would I have been paying for? But my assumption is common area stuff like the hallways or the electric in the HVAC closet. Now my bill that I have is $475 for like 6 months of service, which is obviously not bad. From this entire experience, though, I learned that if a bill seems crazy to you, call, ask, be persistent, because that is a massive difference. $283 a month versus the $103 a month that I am actually using is insane. I'm not the only tenant that's experiencing this. I know my friend is too, but I know that there are some other people in the building who felt like their bills were a little bit off, but we are the only ones that have actually like investigated and really pushed to figure everything out. And had I not been persistent, I have no idea what would have come of this, and I could have ended up spending $283 a month on electric for the entire duration of my lease, which is insane to think about.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. I really appreciate you so much. Make sure you please click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.